I'm like, listen, I got us to 1 billion using your way. And your way was like steak dinners, shaking hands, knowing the centers of influence, going into government institutions and asking for permission to manage our money. That's how we got here. If I want to create the next $10 billion, the way to do it is not to shake hands. The way to do it is create something once and distribute it continuously through the internet. And Jim is the man, and we're still very close, and he's still more of a billionaire than I am, so he's doing a few things right. But he disagreed with me. He was like, categorically, no. If you're going to be at this firm, you cannot get on TV, you cannot go and talk about this online, you cannot create newsletters. And he said, and I'll never forget, Cody, at this firm, we get rich quietly. And I sat with that for a long time, and now that I'm pretty public, I understand why he might say that. There's a lot of downside to being public. But at that point, I said, Jim, if I disagree with you and I want to go this other direction with my part of the company, I owned part of the Latin American division, what are we going to do? And he said, if you want to play poker, you need to get your own chips. And so, yeah. And you know what? He was right. He was right. And so thankfully, he, for all intents and purposes, said, either start rowing or get off the boat. So I got off the boat. And yeah, you guys have all probably had a moment where you did that, right? Where other people told you, you shouldn't be creating online content. This is ridiculous. Why do you think you can? Are you a fake guru online? All of the. How many intelligent humans have you met that could not thread a needle through a hole? Like, there are so many people who think that being intelligent is the key to success. And if you actually look at many different data sets, what you find is that the smartest people, in fact, those at the far end of the curve, have some of the lowest levels of success, aka wealth, relationships, happiness index. And so if I could take one skill and transport it to just about anybody else, it would be curiosity. And you go and you ask hard questions to find answers. And I think when it comes to content, one of the reasons we've had some success, I think there's 2 reasons, actually. The main reason is I'm really curious. I just cannot imagine a world in which we are given this incredible cranium we all have with these neurons firing, and we don't try to squeeze every bit of information out of this life that we humanly can. Like, how sad a world if we do not try to take the things that, in my mind, God gave us and apply them to the maximum amount possible. I hate that idea. And so I think that's one reason we've been successful. And the second reason is because, if you guys are creating online, there's one thing that I think is more important than anything else. Forget the Instagram reel versus the TikTok versus the hook versus the first 30 seconds. It's, do you think you're the hero? Or are the people that you're serving the heroes? Are you the Luke Skywalker, or are the people that are watching your videos the Luke Skywalker? And I remember reading some parts of this originally from Storyteller Brand.
Donald Miller, Story Brand.
Story Brand. And when he said that to me, it hit. Because when I'm on a stage like this, I don't actually think it's about me. I think it's about how do I meet as many of yous, because the bigger ripple is not Cody gets bigger. The bigger ripple is, what do you think is easier for me to do? There's 600 people here in this room, right? Is it easier for Cody to get 600 million followers? Or would it be easier for this crowd cumulatively to get 600 million? I imagine the number is actually quite higher. And so what I realized in that moment, and I think one of the big reasons that I'm into content today, is I do not think we should get rich quietly. I think the difference between getting rich quietly and getting rich together is actually we make more money and we have more impact, not less. And I think the difference between me and those women was simply I was born an American citizen with the ability to earn. And what if we could teach more people that? So that's why I'm loud on the internet and why I'm pretty mission driven.